Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
Hi. Yeah, not everybody was here. Hi, everybody. Welcome not to Anime Odyssey. Only a couple of us were here. Not enough people for the panel. I either knew why people might not be here or I didn't hear from people. Either way, can't do the show as just two people. We need 3 to 4 for the full panel, the way we're building this now. So we are rescheduling. I just wanted to let you guys know, since a few of you were already here live, I thought I would simply let you know without simply ducking out. Thing is, we are live. I don't really have anything planned for a natural 20 because this was the show tonight. Anime Man was here. If you're still Anime Man, thank you for being here. We could hang out. You guys want me to hang out for just a little bit? We can shift things up. We can do something for a little bit here. I don't want to just completely bail and go away. We'll put this in the background for now. We'll just put that in the background for a minute here. Let's change the background up. Let me change the banner. Let me change the thumbnail since we are not currently doing this. Let's see. Welcome to things that I do at the last second. So how do you guys think? We could Aquaman 2 screening walkouts. I mean, you guys want to? All right. I'm gonna make this real simple. What do you guys want to talk? You guys want to talk about something for a few minutes? Oh, there's Dermy. Damn it. All right. Anime Man, come back in. We're doing it. Come back in. We're doing it. We're gonna do it.
I'm gonna be real honest. I completely forgot what time everything was.
I changed it. Okay.
Because of the change, I got all messed up.
All right, we're gonna do it. We got 3. We're gonna do it. Come back in, Anime Man. We're gonna do it. Let me switch the thumbnail back. Oh yes, so organized.
I'm running. I've been running around like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been running around, but I did have something happened yesterday that the reason I have to start late. I can tell you at another point, but requires my physical presence from now on for at least a couple of weeks. 7:30
How do you like
every
my new
night.
camera, by the way?
Hello.
Oh yeah, you're right. That isn't. You look a lot crisper, a lot cleaner, not so fuzzy.
Yeah, 4K. I'm all pretty and
Nice.
And I can, if I get it to work right, I can.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're gonna chase away what few people we have here if you do that.
My face is beautiful. Thank you very much.
I shaved today, so I am beautiful. I know I'm beautiful.
I need to clean it up.
Well, I shave once a week. It's just the way it is. I got sensitive skin. I'll get like razor burn. That's the problem.
I'm lazy
on my neck.
Here.
I'll get all rashy. That's why I only do it once a week with an electric razor. Let me tweet this thing out. Wasn't sure, so let me get this out.
We're super professional over here, guys.
Well, I'm usually a little better than this. Well, I blame you and everybody else. I wasn't exactly on time today, but
yeah. Honestly, I'll accept the blame for me because I didn't even know I was going to be able to come on.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping when I pushed back the time that you'd make it, and it was a gamble. And I haven't heard from Jose. Jose has been moving, so he may be completely off the grid at the moment. I don't know, but we will happy if he shows up, and if not, we'll catch him next month because it's next month. It's Anime Man's tag and Dermy's choice for next month anyway. So
I can't wait. It's also a perfect month. March is my birthday month.
Oh,
I almost made a joke. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not quick enough right now. My mind is in 2 different directions.
One more, folks. Before we do anything else, at the end of the show, if it's at all possible, there's something very special I'd like to do.
Sure.
Sure. I mean, you are one of the panelists, and You have the right to announce things, so that's perfectly fine. Let me just get this thumb up, and we are good to begin. Okay, we are now officially starting Anime Odyssey. Welcome to Anime Odyssey, everybody. A little bit of a hiccup, but we are here. We're ready to talk some anime. We are ready to talk Angel Beats, episodes 1 through 13, the single season of this show. Welcome, of course. We already basically introduced ourselves. I am Adam. It's my channel. You know who I am. Welcome, Dermy Wormy. And
hi.
33. Derm, how you doing? Besides being scatterbrained.
Scatterbrained, exhausted. I have a lot going on right now, both in IRL world and on YouTube. That'll be a fun announcement towards the end because
yeah, I know what you're gonna announce. I know what you're gonna announce.
I announced it officially on Soldier Spirit's stream last night over at Vets Talk, and guys, go check that out. And it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be fun.
We'll see. I'll try and be a turd in the punch bowl.
I already have a special guest. Let's just say somebody that's bigger than a lot of us.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody that you probably heard of.
Damn it! Now I'm gonna be all nervous. I'm gonna be all anxious and nervous. I don't know. Actually, I do get nervous around bigger YouTubers because, goddamn, they have bigger audiences. And who am I? Who am I?
Let's say 46,000 subs.
Oh, I know who it is now.
Who?
It's Drunk 3PO.
No.
Okay. Oh, he has more than 46,000, doesn't he?
No, he has less.
He has less.
No, he has more.
He has more. Why did I think it was him? I don't know.
You know what? Let's continue on with openings, and I'll look this up.
Okay. Anime Man, how are you?
Doing fine. It's actually snowing outside in my neck of the woods.
No snow here. In another 2 weeks, I can probably safely say no snow this year, and I'm happy to say that. I'll be very happy to have dodged snow. It's been threatening for like a 40% chance this weekend. Let's see if it's still there. And nope, went away again. So I'll be very happy if it does not snow because snow is a pain in the ass. I hate it. I've seen enough of it in my lifetime. Never want to see it again.
All right, Dermy, before we do anything else, Dermy, you might want to take a look at the comments section at what my Imoto-chan Aki said to you.
I know. Hi.
Anyway, okay, so Angel Beats. That was our choice. I believe the tag was drama for this month, and this is what Anime Man chose. So, Anime Man, since this was your choice, why don't you walk us into this show?
Okay. Here's the premise of the show. A young man, Yuzuru Otenashi, wakes up at what looks like a high school, only to find out that he's in purgatory, and he and a group of students have to find out exactly why they're there and overcome whatever issues it is they have. It's a rather interesting show in that, well, the irony of it is, if you die in this world, you really can't die.
Yeah.
But it hurts like hell.
It's even crazier than Dark Souls.
You're essentially immortal, and no matter how nasty you get, as they say many times, you can pull yourself back together again, and you can keep going. But it takes place in a sort of, I wouldn't call it purgatory.
It sort of is purgatory, or it isn't. Based on the spoiler alert, reincarnation theories and stuff like that. So,
personally, I felt like a purgatory means absolutely nothing. A void, as I've always felt. This is the way this place is. It's kind of a testing ground, or basically one giant psychology session.
This gets a little
therapy session.
This gets a little theological, but purgatory, depending on what religion you are, depends on what the format is. So, like in Catholic religion, it is a testing ground, it is a proving ground, and it can be utter hell.
Well, and I'm Jewish. We don't even have hell, so. But yeah, I always pictured it as just like a void of nothing. You're trapped, no formless void, got nowhere to go. Anyway, so call it what you will. These Otonashi and we'll just call them the crew for the moment, and I will go a little farther than that in a second. They are there. He is the latest one to arrive. Everybody else has been there for quite some time. At least we understand. There's no real concept of time in this place. You agree with that?
Yeah.
And it's well, I'm gonna come out and say it. I didn't enjoy this. I did not enjoy this show. I'm gonna come right out and say it. I found it to be a little tedious. I found it to drag. I found it to be formless in its structure and its story, and I feel like in the end, nothing was earned. But we'll go through that. Well, I'll start with my point. My point of why it started off. I started off a little iffy on this, and I wasn't angry. I wasn't pissed off. I was just honestly, I had to struggle to stay awake for the final 3 episodes. I was struggling to stay awake. Completely honest. Here's the thing. Here's why I had a problem right away. Otonashi and Yuripi and Hinata and maybe 1 or 2 others, they get some character development. But I feel right away at the end of episode 1, where they introduce the entire brigade, we get assaulted by all these characters, and there's no breathing room to get attachment to anybody at all. I mean, Jeremy, you're mulling that over. What do you think?
Yes and no. There's some characters you don't really get attached, but I don't think you're meant to get attached to them. They are the background characters, or you're supposed to have maybe a modicum connection. Let's take like 86 for example. There's some characters in there you don't really get to connect to, but you get to see how they interact with everybody else. So I think it's more like that, and you have other characters that you're meant to get attached to that have some more development in the difference. I will say your main criticism of it is slow. It is very slow. It takes a while for it to actually start ramping up.
I mean, I'll admit the final story in those final couple episodes, okay, we got something going, but it just I mean, I didn't hate it. I was just really bored for these 13 episodes. I just wasn't excited. Every time you thought something was an enemy, it wasn't. It's like in the end, the enemy was you. And when I say you, was me, which was them, their own hangups. That was the true enemy. Because I mean, Anime Man, how do you feel about the fact that there was that this wasn't based on any source material. This was a made for anime only, correct? There's no source material for this, from what I understand.
As I recall, yes. This is actually my first time watching it.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yep. It was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine on Discord.
Oh.
For drama.
Okay. I was expecting a more stalwart defense, like this was something you really loved. Okay, this is the first time I saw it too.
Let's just say because of my writings and such, I haven't had all that many anime experiences, and my real life job. So I'm making up for lost time.
All right. Well, all right.
But I will say.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you. Let me ask you. How do you feel about the show then, since this was your first time too? I was laying the groundwork for a nice little debate here of you probably to defend it, but this is your first time too. How do you feel about this show then?
I'll say this. Yes, it was slow. That I will agree with. And for just when you thought you got the enemy figured out, all of a sudden, poof, they pull the rug out from under you, so to speak. The story, I thought, tend to get confused. Sometimes it wanted to be drama. Sometimes it wanted to be comedy. Sometimes it wanted to be adventure. Almost as if it didn't know which direction that it wanted to go.
And I got to say, the comedy fell flat. The comedy was not good. I chuckled, I think, once. I think I laughed once, maybe twice in the latter episodes, but I didn't find the comedy didn't hit at all for me. It was just kind of, we're yelling at each other. We're beating up each other, that kind of low-hanging fruit, but that only works for me, like physical aggressive comedy between two characters only works when I've got 6 or 7 episodes or maybe a season behind of their relationship. Like to have the little replacement singer girl who replaced the singing girl who disappeared within 2 episodes. and we're supposed to feel for her when she comes in, and then she has the sort of relationship with Hinata, but they kind of develop it out of nowhere. I mean, it's just, and they're physically having their physical comedy with each other. Wasn't earned. That, I think that's the theme for me with this. Nothing in this show felt earned to me. I mean, so I interrupted you, but I'm sorry. So let Anime Man finish. I'm sorry, I interrupted there.
As I said, the story seemed a little scattered, as in it didn't know what kind of genre it wanted to be. I thought the resolution of the characters, I agree, was rather rushed, but I thought that the final episode was pretty good. You're welcome to disagree with it, but I found that with the character of Kanade and Yuzuru, their relationship developed very well, and I will confess, I kind of found myself crying a little bit during the final episode. Not as bad as, say, Star Trek Continues White Lilies.
No,
that one really made me cry, but this,
I mean, yeah. I appreciated the attempt that was made for these two, but having a lunch together at one point and wanting to have her join them for fishing, and then feeling bad when all the multiple Kanade personalities got pulled back into her, that to me is not a foundation for I love you so much, I want to spend the rest of my life with you at the end there. And yeah, I'm happy they got that little moment of 10 seconds epilogue of, oh, they reunited in reincarnation. That's nice. I'm okay with that. But it's just for him to be so devastated wasn't earned for me. I mean, his backstory was the only one that was actually good, where you find out that he died having, I mean, they did it over like 3 episodes, where first you think he's another dead-end loser who was basically just tripping along to do for his dying sister. But then you thought, well, okay, he got his shit together, but then he died in a train accident. And you find out that during the train accident, he manned up and he was a leader, but he had that internal bleeding that he didn't tell anybody, and he dies right as they all get saved. And therefore, but then his amnesia didn't mean, because he got amnesia and forgot that, his soul didn't remember that it didn't belong in this place, in this place. I mean, I come back to it. Outside of that, everybody else's backstories, which were told over just for like a half a second, it felt like to me. I mean, Dermy, were you attached to anybody in this show?
So this is my second time watching this show.
Okay.
To be perfectly honest, the only person, I cannot remember her name, was the girl in the wheelchair.
You mean who's in a wheelchair in real life?
Mm-hmm.
Little demon girl replacement singer. That's
yeah.
Yui. Yui was her name, I think. Yui.
She was the only character besides the main character that's backstory and stuff actually kind of grew to me, because I'm a sucker for dumb things like that.
Okay.
When it comes to this anime, though, I'm not a staunch defender of it. I like it in a weird sense. Like, there's something there that I like. I just can't put my finger on what it is. I love the music, though. I think the music is great.
What do you mean? Do you mean the rock and roll inserts, or
the rock and roll inserts? And I'm also a fan of string instruments. So that opening, hearing the piano play,
I didn't get an opening. In what I got, there was no openings attached to what I got. I had no opening, so
have you not heard the opening yet?
Oh, no, I didn't get an opening.
The opening is really good.
The copy, the version I got, there was no opening attached to any episode. So I'm like, damn, would they put no opening in this? What's going on?
You're missing out then. That opening is like one of the best parts of Angel Beats. That is a very, very unique opening. It is piano in it, and you see the angel girl. She's the one that's playing the piano in the opening. That's how you know that she's kind of one of your main characters and stuff. It's so unique.
All right, well, I'll go back and look at it again, because it didn't. No, whoever did the edits for what I got edited out the opening.
You can always just look it up.
Oh, I know. I can YouTube that shit. I was burning through this yesterday, so I was just kind of okay. Let's go. But all right. So I mean, I can understand where. Here's the thing. To Anime Man's point, if this show had locked into a specific foundation of its storytelling, I might have been able to get more of a feel and grow some attachment, but like I agree with what Anime Man said. It's trying to be 3 or 4 different things, and to me it didn't stick the landing on any of them.
Mhm.
I by episode 4, which to me is the test. I didn't care about any of these characters. I had no idea what was going on. I could tell right away that by the end of the first episode, I could tell Kanade is not really an enemy. She's not an enemy. She's just got a different purpose. Or in this case, as to quote the show, everybody's a goddamn moron in this show. They're all morons. They can't think past doing impulsive behavior. Otonashi's the only one that has a brain once he gets his amnesia fixed. But everything is, I guess because it was developed for an anime only thing and there's no source material, to Anime Man's point again, it was rushed. Every resolution is kind of done in an episode for the most part. And I felt, again, broken record, not earned. I mean, vice president guy who we get introduced to as our secondary antagonist when Kanade is removed as an antagonist. We think, okay, he's a bully. He's being a dick. Maybe he's pulling the strings. Okay, maybe he's horrible. No, he just needed a hug. At the end, he just needed a hug, and everything was okay at the end of his episode. And then he became obsessed with Otonashi. Not in a gay way, at least I don't think in a gay way. But I felt no connection and no closure with anything after Ursa. I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this episode, moving on. That's how I felt at every episode. And then when it came to the revelation of the NPC in the second computer room, how did you guys feel about that? When that guy gets introduced, I was thinking, okay, is it somebody we've seen in the background that's maybe going to be here, or maybe somebody betrayed the group and it's really no, it's a person we've never seen before who takes no responsibility for anything, saying that I was programmed this way and I don't really know why I'm doing this.
I did not like that because when I first saw this anime, would have been maybe 2 years after it came out, maybe 2012. I don't remember how long ago it was.
2010, this when it came out.
Well, I mean, like,
when you saw it, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
And it also came out in that time when they're starting up like the very short anime seasons and stuff, and it didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just figuring that out. But when we get to that PC guy, I'm like, okay, because they have all these hints of NPCs, how this world works. I'm like, this is gonna be God. This is gonna be God. This is gonna be our God. And in reality, they're living within some sort of computer thing. And he wanted to come in here and interact along with them. Because one of the most boring things about an RPG from Sword Art Online is you don't like watching it, you want to play it.
I just watched that episode the other day. I'm rewatching SAO right now.
So that became my whole theory of this is God, and then it's not, and I'm like, then what's the point?
I mean, Anime Man, how do you feel about that?
I will confess, when I found out it was just another NPC, I was more than just a little disappointed. The way I looked at it, all we needed was, Dave, what are you doing, Dave?
That would have been good. Some sort of actual AI being a dick. That would have, or that AI that thinks it understands emotions but doesn't. That would have been a better angle instead of just this guy sitting there going, I'm just doing what my programmer told me, what the Angel Code creator told me. And you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you. After everything Yuripi does to get there and her own little come to Jesus moments on the way there. And then it's basically, okay, go ahead and shoot it all up. And then to learn that the creator of the Angel Code turned themselves into an NPC because they were heartbroken. It's a letdown. I mean, granted, this is not every show has to have a villain, has to have an overarching nemesis, but this show began trying to tell you that there was something going on in this world and somebody was playing with everybody. Then we find out nobody's playing with everybody. They're just effing with themselves.
I have always dinked around with what is this world? What is this supposed to be telling me? And there was something you said at the beginning of this, and it's one, they're all morons. One, they're all awful. And pull yourself back together. And the only good one was Otanashi. Part of me wonders if this was a punishment of sorts prior to maybe your second chance. You did a little round with your life. You didn't really live up to anything. And here's your second chance moment to prove yourself. And then Otanashi gets brought in to guide them on that second chance. That might be what's happening, but
Kaneda doesn't fit that formula because again, spoiler, the big reveal, the title, you don't even get the meaning of the title till the final episode. Because and I give them some small credit in the writing where at one point when we get the end, and I'll get to my point in a second, when Otanashi gets his memories back completely, remembering the train wreck and the survival period, and when he wakes up and we learn that he did the bold thing of checking off organ donation. And at one point when Kaneda says, I'm sure she was very happy to get that. I thought, my thought with them was, how do you know it's a she that got his organs? And then the end of the episode, we discover that his heart was in her, that she got his donated heart. And for now, Angel Beats makes sense at the very end there.
You explaining that is the first time I actually gathered all that. I always thought it went to the whole music theme that they have going on the whole time.
Well, look at the icon in every splash page, every 15 minutes in between splash page is this Angel Beats and it's a little heartbeat next to it, like a pulse beat.
I always took that as like some sort of music thing.
No, that's a heart monitor beat. That's a pulse heart monitor beat.
Wow, the symbolism.
Yeah. And then I realized, and I kept thinking, okay, something's beating, but we haven't got, that's the thing. We didn't get any reference to a heart until that moment. And even then it was glossed over. And then it was not until the final moments that when Kaneda reveals it, realize, oh, Angel beats. She's Angel. Her heart is beating, but she's beating with Otanashi's heart. And she's great for that. So to your theory on that, and then is, if they have to all learn lessons for unfulfilled lives. She had a fulfilled life. Her regret was not thanking the person that gave her the heart. And then that throws a massive monkey wrench into the concept of time in this place, because she was there before Otanashi arrived, but he died to give her a heart transplant. So where the hell was he for however long she was there before he got there?
Don't think about it. Just watch.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm at. That's my complaint. I understand. I get the point. I mean, Anime Man, when it comes to the structure of this world, it's supposed to feel slapdash and pointless. Do you feel that with the way this high school world was built?
Yeah, it's very slapdash and very confusing. You don't know if you're looking up or down time. It's along the lines of wait, what? Me confused.
Yeah, so we get that was one of the things. Again, I'm looking for connections, and part of connections, as we always talk about on other shows, we talk about movies and TV shows, world building. Give me a world I can feel something for and get attached to. There's this high school is the world, and they, in my opinion, do a crummy job of world building it. I mean, I think about it, and I think to myself, okay, when you have the thought of the guild that was building all their dirt weapons, how is it for however long went on? How is it that Kaneda only finds the guild the day that they wanted to take Otanashi there? I mean, I feel it's just convenience for plot's sake to make something happen in that episode. It went undetected for the longest time by our concept of how long they've all been there, and now suddenly she finds it, and then they have to destroy it. It's one of those shows that I feel like everything was done for convenience, just to make sure the plot had a reason to happen per episode. Am I off on that?
No,
you're not off on that.
No, I'm not. Which is why very rarely can a show be good without a manga or light novel source material. I mean, can you guys off the top of your head think of anything Oh, I can think of one. Like, I would say something like Zoids did well without manga or light novel source material with all their adaptations. But you have to, it's really hard to find something that really does well without that kind of foundation.
Technically, this is a technicality.
Okay.
The Pokemon anime, Ash Ketchum and all of them are all original stories and they never had a manga. Now, Pokemon has manga and has their own stories, but Ash Ketchum's Adventures, the anime that everybody knows, that's
another outlier, but that's also built to sell you shit.
I'm sure
is designed to sell you shit as well. It's like old school Transformers and G.I. Joe. Watch this and go buy the shit.
Wait, I do know of one. I do know of one more, and I cannot remember. No Game, No Life.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, that is good. It's creepy. Don't get me wrong. There's a creepy connection that exists between the main two characters.
Aren't they brother and sister or something like that? Or
yes,
or at least one version.
Well,
I've seen there's a prequel movie and this. I mean,
the prequel movie actually explains a lot of it. They are brother and sister. It doesn't help the whole creepiness of it.
Oh, I see where we're going with that. The
storyline, though, is actually really good. It's a very unique world. It's a very unique thing, and it has no manga.
Okay. Well, it's very rare that something could pull it off. I mean, you could probably count it on with the dozens, hundreds of, maybe even thousands of anime in existence. You could probably count on both hands the number of times it's been pulled off. And in my opinion, this show does not pull it off because it doesn't feel, it's not grounded.
I don't think it pulls it off. I think it did decent. I don't hate it like you do, or dislike it.
I'm not saying I hate it. It's just I never.
I don't dislike it on par of you. I would watch this.
I feel like I wasted my time watching it. That's the thing. I feel like I didn't get anything out of this. I didn't get any waifus out of this. I didn't get any cool moments I can go back to. I didn't get cool sequences that I can go at. I didn't get any humor. And I didn't get a world that maybe I can borrow from for ideas or something like that. You know, I got nothing in my transaction with this show. All I got was, okay, this is why I didn't stream anything last night. That's all I got. Or wait, yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah, I didn't do anything last night. I finished watching this.
And then you texted me.
Yeah, I did. Well, yeah. No, actually, I did that early in the day. In the day. That was early in the day when I'd started it. When I was about halfway through. When I told you I wasn't having fun. I mean, in the end, Anime Man, is there anything that you feel is positive out of this show? I mean, and when I say positive, I mean worth putting time into it.
Is there anything good or positive that you could put into it?
I mean, its themes are positive. I give it that its themes about psychological healing and dealing with personal trauma is important. I just don't think it was handled very well. That's all. It was handled too lightly.
I actually agree with you. It was handled too lightly and rather rushed. And well, we all know what happens when you rush something. You get disastrous results. So it's okay if you're really, 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 really bored. But more often than not, it's meh. We got better anime to watch.
I never would have picked this up on my own. I mean, and I've come across it in my journeys for stuff like when I've been on drama kicks. It comes up on the list of like I go to AniList, or I have a place I go right now if I'm rabbit holing for something I've never seen before. I've seen it come across, and then I read the caption. I go, nope, moving on. I never chose it even when it came across, and but I'll give it like I said, I'll give it props for, again, it's dealing with some good themes. It just mishandles them in terms of, and I think the failure, part of that is I'm going to come back to it, is our cast. There's too many people in this show. And as they're introduced, I mean, when you have a show with a good roster that you're going to be learning about, you get them one or two at a time, and there's separation between introductions. I mean, Jeremy, we got all these guys at once, and they're all behaving like jerks.
Mm-hmm.
And Otonashi comes off as really selfish in the beginning, and right away, and at least for me, I saw through like, oh, Kanade, she's not a villain. No villain just behaves like that, and so
she was a program. That's how I always viewed it. But the characters you needed more time with everything. You didn't. That was always my biggest criticism of the show. I like the music, I like some characters here or there. You needed more time and you needed more development. You rushed it all too fast, and making a 13 episode show, I think part of it is it came out at the time when they were just starting a lot of those 13 episode series.
There was 2 OAVs, but when you go back and see when they fit in, they're sandwiched in the early parts. But when I read the synopsis for each one, I'm like, wow, this wouldn't have been fun at all. I wouldn't have enjoyed these episodes at all. So
you just needed some more development. If you had maybe 10 more episodes, let's say that 10 more episodes that focused more on developing certain characters and their relationships with each other
with an actual arc. There's no arc for me to get behind. I mean,
there sort of is, but it's like 3 episodes an arc, and then you're like,
I couldn't put a name to any of the arcs here, except outside of introduction to Otonashi, or Otonashi getting to like everybody. That is pretty
arc. Much it.
That's
introduce new character, think they're bad, and then you find out they're not bad.
Yeah, or when you figure out when Rock and Roll Girl has her come to Jesus moment and finds peace, then you realize, and that was when we realized, oh, if people just find peace, they're going to move on. I also didn't like the term obliteration. I thought that was a bad term, at least in the dub. It was a bad term for finding that. It's like, you're going to be obliterated. So it's just, lack of connections. I keep coming back to that, and part of that is the giant cast that we have no connection to. By the end, when it's our final 5, okay. If I realize if it had just been this 5 focused around them most of the time, maybe replace vice president dude with somebody else. I could have gotten into that if they had been the focus for a lot, but failure to do that has me not interested. Now, here's one thing could have left it with a really good positive feeling, and I thought before we got to, I'm thinking there's a chance they could do this to give us, because we didn't even get everybody's backstories. Ninja Girl, we didn't get her backstory, except she likes to balance things on her finger.
I don't remember. Did we get the rapper guy's backstory?
Nope.
Dancing guy?
We got nothing. Nothing on TK. Nothing, or JK, whatever the hell he was. Nothing on him. Computer nerd who wants to be called Christ. Nothing on him. Dude who has no special talents. Nothing on him. Nothing.
Not even nothing on Mr. Axeman.
Yeah, Mr. I'm obsessed with Euripi. Mr. Obsessed with Euripi, except that he's obsessed with her. And why, we don't know. He looks at her picture during everybody's we're mulling over if we're going to move on moment. So-and-so the fifth, fat guy who turned skinny by the end because he had no food while he was training off in the forest. God knows how long. Nothing. So, I mean, you see what I'm saying here? This cast, these guys all get introduced. They all get names. They all get specific looks and designs. We get nothing for them. And it's just, how am I supposed to care that they're all finding peace? That they're all ready to move on? Well, yeah, their friendship is nice. That I get that, but why haven't they? Why haven't they given us more to work with? Why am I supposed to care about these people? That's a thing. So you fail to give me a connection to people, to characters. You fail to give me a world to think about. You fail to give me any sort of solid, real story arcs to think of. Where is this going? I'm excited to see how this ends up, and I'm left just literally wandering through each episode with unfunny sight gags and comedy that just doesn't hit the mark, and then it shifts from the comedy to the drama real quickly. And because I have no investment in these characters, I'm not feeling the drama. So I mean, it's just. But what I was saying though is that if we had gotten backstories for everybody. They give it enough time. This could have been at least saved for a real good, heartwarming ending if the same way we saw with Otonashi reaching out for Kaneda at the end there, give us an epilogue of everybody reincarnating to where they should be for a more fulfilling life. Like if Hinata really was in love with Yui, and that's a little sketchy because she looks like she's 10 years younger than him. Maybe show them being in love, and maybe her not in a wheelchair, but happy and moving around. Give me Yurippy being maybe not another older sister, but being a caretaker of sorts, maybe like a preschool teacher to kids, and give me their lives, their second chance lives. Give me a glimpse, an epilogue, just stills or no dialogue animation of them doing action to give me a glimpse of their second chance lives, so I can feel that maybe, just maybe, I can find some connection to these people. But I got nothing for that. I was hoping for that, and I didn't get it. And then all I got was Otonashi reaching out to touch Kaneda's shoulder because she's humming the song that they all made up while they were in purgatory together. Am I out of line with any of this?
Actually, no. You actually brought up a pretty valid point. It would have been nice if we could have had at least something of what happened to them after they, quote unquote, graduated or moved on.
Yeah. We got nothing. And it just kind of slapped home the overall disappointment for this. That, again, and this is not Anime Man's fault. He didn't know we were getting into here. I felt like I wasted my time with this show. I didn't get anything out of it. No lasting nothing. I mean, if I get shows that I like, even if they're just shallow, surface level shows that are there for just a little bit of, I had a good time on this. Maybe I'll at least get a wallpaper out of it that I can slap on my desktop for a month, because I change my desktop every month. Usually it's an anime. Maybe I could get that, but this doesn't even. I don't even want to see this cast, even though that end credit scene of everybody together is a nice picture of this cast. I don't care enough to see them like that, and that's the thing. That's where I am. Anybody else have anything else they want to add? Because I think I've said everything I'm going to say about this now.
I will say the music is great. I love the music. I don't know what it is. That opening's good, and Adam, you need to check out that opening.
I think it would. I think the genre would be considered would be J-rock. I've actually listened to some J-rock in the slants.
There is a uniqueness though to this anime, and I don't know what it is. There's this charm element to it that I do enjoy.
The animation's not bad. Yeah, the animation isn't bad either.
This will never be like an anime that I'm gonna go out of my way to go watch. But if there's nothing else on that I'm interested,
would you own it?
Would
you put it on your shelf for physical media? You would?
Yeah, I actually would.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is about it.
As would I. I would, however, point out that, well, being that I'm a strictly dub, I will say there were certain points in the anime where the dub didn't quite mesh up with the lip sync.
Well, yeah, there were. I caught that too, and at the same time, now this is 2010. Let's remember, this is 2010. This is that era where dubs just started improving. We are at the beginning of the era where they started really putting time. It's around 2008 is when the quality of dubs drastically started improving. They actually started getting good voice actors. They started to properly sync. They stopped adding words that were unnecessary, that didn't exist in the original translation. So this is still the beginning of dubs leveling up. By the time you get to, 2013, and I'll say the Full Metal Alchemist dub, they've locked it all down, because that is a perfect dub. The Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood dub is just all points hit. So they get it right, but we're just at the beginning of dubs, in my opinion, getting to be quality and not just the slapdash shit they're putting on goddamn 4Kids for those freaking shows back in the day.
Hey, don't diss Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm not dissing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm dissing 4Kids. Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually did okay. I'm dissing the One Piece 4Kids. That was that was trash.
I'll give you that, and also I'll give you the Naruto. Oh God, it's awful.
I actually have some of the more adult-oriented One Piece, and I can understand the rage over
Oh,
the 4Kids One Piece.
The 4Kids One Piece. That was my first introduction, and I hated it at first. Then I went back and I gave it another chance, and with subs, and I realized, oh my god, they ruined this. They freaking ruined this. Freaking 4Kids. Not to mention with the animation changes. Instead of a cigarette, Sanji has a lollipop in his mouth and all that.
I'm
horrible.
rewatching it, and it is pretty damn good, actually. Because I hated it. One Piece. I hated One Piece originally. I could not stand it.
So yeah, first introduction.
They did it dirty.
Yeah, you have to watch it in its original format to understand its glory, and it's just. But back to my point. 2010 was when the dubs really started to get good, so I can forgive the little mistakes. Although I felt like sometimes lines were a little rushed. Sometimes they're still making that mistake of adding a too Western phrase into a bunch of kids who are all clearly Japanese. I honestly don't think a Japanese kid would say Jesus Christ. I don't think they would say Jesus Christ that much, or a couple other phrases that really Westernized phrases. But either way, in the end, you guys put it on your shelf. I wouldn't let this show anywhere near my shelf. I didn't even. As soon as I was done yesterday, it left my hard drive. As soon as I was done yesterday, it was gone. I didn't want it anymore. Not because I hated it, but because my bottom line is it just wasted my time. I got nothing from it. All right. Any closing thoughts? Because we can wrap this up.
I would say. You want to go first, Jeremy?
No. I really don't have anything. I was thinking about the dubbing, and you're right. It is better than what we were getting at the time. I looked up Gundam 00. Huge Gundam fan.
Yeah.
The ADR in Gundam 00 is awful. They have that distance issue where somebody is off screen, but they sound like they're right on screen, and I hate it. They don't have that muffling right or the sound stuff set up right.
They didn't care yet at that point.
Mm-hmm. They really had it better in this. Where if
this is better,
yeah. If somebody's off screen or in a different position, it's a little softer than being right there.
Okay, I just remembered when I laughed. One of the moments I laughed is during the midterm scene where Yurippy would crash Hinata up into the ceiling. That made me laugh because that was a decent sight gag, but that was it. Maybe one other time I laughed, but that was it. Anime Man, closing thoughts on this.
My closing thoughts are Angel Beats was okay. It had some good ideas, but definitely rushed. It was a story that didn't exactly know what genre it wanted to get into. The characters did get some resolution, but as I said, it was all rather rushed. I give this thing a C+, giving it the grade of meh.
Yeah, it's very meh, very mid. To use the term that the kids use these days. I wouldn't. Slightly below average for me, just because, as I said, I'll repeat myself. My closing thoughts: lack of foundation of a world, lack of characters that are interesting for me to get into, no story cohesion, really for me whatsoever. And in the end, it led to nothing being earned. Relationships, resolutions, nothing felt earned to me. I did not enjoy it, and I was generally bored. And I got nothing out of it. All right. With that being said, we'll close up shop here for another month. Anime Man will be choosing our tag for next month, and Jeremy will be making the choice for March. And we'll let you guys know what that is within the next 2 weeks. So I want to thank the panel for being here. Let's go around the horn. Jeremy, what you got coming on for the rest of the week?
Oh, no, nothing major. No, nothing major. No, just Friday night at 10 p.m. Central, I will be starting my own panel show. It will be a bi-weekly panel show, or panel show-ish. It's going to be more in the line of like a Jack show or maybe a comic skate style thing where I'm going to go live and I'll ask people to come on. If they want to come on, they can.
And debauchery will ensue?
Yes, actually, that is the plan, because I have one main co-host that I will be asking every week if he wants to come on. That is my buddy Soldier Spirit of Vets Talking, of Legion Memers, everything like that. Good buddy. I have asked Adam to come on.
I'll be there on Friday.
because he was the guy I streamed with first. He was the guy kind enough to bring me on his channel first, and I felt obligated. I have to bring him on.
Obligated. Obligated.
I could come if you'd like.
If you want to, I can find a way to get you it. But the main thing we're going to be doing, debauchery, having fun, and Soldier Spirit has caught the eye of a comic skater, actually.
Oh.
One Miss Sheila Aliens.
Like caught the eye and is in make Cecil jealous, or
I don't know if it's made Cecil jealous yet, but yes, the Sheila Aliens who's into Cecil. Sheila Aliens.
Oh boy.
And they've been hitting it off. So on Monday, Sheila Aliens was over on John Malin's stream, actually.
After Dark, or I mean not Dark, Post Kangs. I didn't watch it this week.
Yeah, my buddy, she got on there and she informed them about Soldier. They got Soldier on there and they grilled him. They interrogated him.
Oh Lord!
Did he know what he was getting into?
No.
Oh, good Lord! I would not have. I know what those dudes are like. I've seen what
he knows now. He also got to meet Rini. He got to meet a lot of several Comicscape people right off the bat, not knowing what the hell is going on, half asleep. So the whole point of this,
oh no,
my main theme.
John Malin is ruthless.
Yeah. My main theme
you don't give a shit.
Stream is we're gonna pull up that stream and we're gonna eat that shit. This is my best. This is my buddy being put on the spot, and I'm gonna laugh at him.
I didn't watch it, so I'm kind of glad I skipped Post Kangs the other night. I'm kind of glad I skipped it.
It's beautiful.
Now I'll have fresh eyes because I've been watching Comicscape for years. I may not be active in the chat, but I'm always there. I'm watching.
Well, because
I know
of
the
this,
lore. I know the characters.
Because of this budding relationship and this connection that has been made, and the fact that I stream with Soldier Spirit now basically twice a week. I guess you will be joining us.
One Sheila Aliens, and I assume.
One Sheila Aliens.
I forget that her channel, that her actual channel is quite large, and I remember she neglects it. I forget that.
We've actually been chatting and stuff where we become friends. It's
okay.
nice. But we will also be joined by No Green Rocks of Legion of Memers. We'll be joined by several other Legion members. I have an intro as well that I bought from Mr. Bug of Yellow Flash intros. So
nice.
Be nice.
Very cool.
And at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern, that's well after FNT's over, so you're not really bumping up against anything. So
and Rekeda's not going to be on because he's over in Vegas. So
yeah, they got that meetup this weekend. But all right, so that's okay. I'm always up for some debauchery. I can. We know after actually on Monday we were green. Actually, it didn't stay yellow. We stayed green.
Oh, we're gonna try to
go red.
Full.
Well, you can't. Well, you're not monetizing.
I can't
anyway.
go red.
Yeah, you're not monetized anyway.
But we're gonna try to make this a John Malin Jack show style or a Cecil style show.
Well, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not drinking. So
I will, and I'm in charge.
That's never. Don't drink at the wheel. Don't drink at the wheel. I've seen that. I've seen shows go off the rails. No,
that's the point.
Oh God! All right,
this is not some professional thing that I'm doing.
No, this is good. This is probably gonna be a shit show.
It's supposed to be entertainment.
It's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be glorious, probably at least for us. We're probably gonna all hear some things we shouldn't. I'm sure at some point. All right, Anime Man, you had an announcement you wanted to make.
Besides the fact I've got a whole bunch of articles, I'm also pleased to announce that on my Minds channel, I have a new feature, the Anime Man 73 Library, where you can find links to all my work. I did it because I suddenly realized that with all the stuff I put up, there'd definitely be a time such as now where it'd be harder and harder to find my work. So, why not just put links in one place? So, if folks can find it much easier. Also, Also, this is a very special day for someone very close to me. Me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peach Wookie. Happy birthday to you. I love you, beautiful. You're the greatest girl in the world.
Okay. Congratulations on that. All right. Let's see. For me, it is Wednesday. I'm not doing anything else tonight. And tomorrow is Thursday. We resume Final Fantasy 14 tomorrow, amongst other things. And as I said, on Friday, I'll be on Dermy's channel Friday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central. And Saturday night drive-in, Jed has chosen the Horatio Hornblower movies, the first one. It's going to be me, Jed, I believe. We've got a couple more coming. Jed is locking them down. We're not sure, but we should have a couple people. And then on Sunday, we'll be back here with Roundtable. Grump is working on guests this week. I'm leaving the booking to him for now. He seems to be able to book people. I'm terrible at it. We might get a special guest of a larger, more well-known channel. We'll see that. I'll save that until it's confirmed. Possibility. Either way, though, so check it out. Remember, check out everybody's stuff. Links in the description below. We thank you, chat, for being here. And since we didn't get it at the opening, because I wasn't sure we were going to do it, let's go out to the intro. So good night, everybody. Have a good night or day, whatever. Take it easy, everybody. See you next time.
Take care, folks.